Every single day you make thousands of choices. Seriously. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible logic that drives every single one of them. It's this powerful idea from economics called utility theory. Okay, think about your morning. Did you go for the coffee or the tea? And for lunch, maybe you picked a salad over a burger. I mean, these feel like simple, whatever I feel like kind of preferences, right? But what if I told you there's a hidden calculation happening in your brain for every single one of those choices? Yep, that's right. Whether you're picking a new playlist, trying to buy a car, or just deciding what's for breakfast, your brain is constantly like solving this little puzzle. And the key to unlocking that puzzle? It comes from this big idea in economics. All right, first up, let's get into the science of satisfaction. We're going to break down the one core concept that makes this entire framework tick. And that concept is called utility. So in economics, utility is basically the measure of satisfaction or benefit you get from something. Think of it as the goodness you get from, I don't know, eating a cookie, watching a movie, or making a certain choice. It's literally the reason you prefer one thing over another. Okay, and this is a really crucial point. Utility isn't like a direct measurement of happiness. You can't just say, oh, that coffee gave me 10 happiness points. No. Instead, you should think of it as a tool, a way for economists to model our preferences and, predict the choices we're probably going to make. So to really see how this works, let's use a simple and, let's be honest, delicious example. We're calling it the pizza slice principle. And it perfectly shows how utility isn't just a fixed number. It actually changes the more you get of something. Okay, just for a second, imagine your absolute favorite pizza. It's hot, it's fresh, out of the oven, the cheese is bubbling, the crust is perfect, and you are starving, right? The satisfaction you're about to get is at its absolute peak. That first slice, oh, it's magnificent. It just hits the spot perfectly. The satisfaction, the utility you get from it is incredibly high. Let's just call it a perfect 10 out of 10. You know it, nothing beats that first bite. But now, fast forward, you're onto your third slice. It's still really good, don't get me wrong, but is it as mind-blowingly amazing as that first one was? Probably not. Your hunger is fading, the novelty's kind of wearing off. The extra utility you got from this specific slice has definitely dropped. And by the time you're maybe forcing down that sixth slice, well, things have changed dramatically. You're full, maybe even a little uncomfortable. The satisfaction you get from this slice is minimal. In fact, one more slice might even give you negative utility. Come on, we've all been there, right? And if you look at it on a shirt, the trend is super clear. The satisfaction or the utility you get from each extra slice just steadily goes down. And here's the thing, this isn't just about pizza. It's a fundamental pattern for pretty much everything we consume. So this whole phenomenon has a name, of course. It's called diminishing marginal utility. And that word marginal, it just means the extra bit from one more unit. So all it's saying is that the extra satisfaction you get from one more of something, well, it tends to go down the more you already have. This is seriously one of the most fundamental ideas in all of economics. Okay, so we get how utility changes, but how does it help us make, more complex decisions, especially when there's risk involved? Let's take a look at how utility plays into those choices between a gamble and a sure thing. All right, check this out. I'm giving you a choice. Option A, I give you a guaranteed $100, no strings attached. Option B, we flip a coin, heads you win $210, tails you get nothing. Now, if you do the math, the expected payout of option B is actually $105, which is higher than option A. So logically, we should all choose B, right? Well, here's the thing. Most people don't. And the reason why is absolutely fascinating. It all comes back to utility. See, for most of us, the pain, or the negative utility, of walking away with nothing is way worse than the positive utility of potentially winning a bit more. That guaranteed $100, that provides a huge amount of satisfaction and security. This preference for the sure thing is called risk aversion, and it's exactly why someone might choose a safe investment over a risky one, even if the risky one has a higher potential payoff. The takeaway is, we don't just maximize dollars, we maximize utility. Okay, let's bring this all back home. Because this isn't just some abstract theory you read about in a textbook. You are using these principles every single day, in almost every choice you make. I mean, think about buying insurance. You're accepting a small guaranteed loss, your premium, just to avoid the massive negative utility of a disaster. Or when you supersize your coffee for just 50 cents more, you're deciding that the marginal utility of that extra coffee is worth the extra cost. Even deciding whether to study for an exam or go to a party, that's a utility calculation. You're weighing the long-term utility of a good grade against the short-term utility of a fun night out. So what's wild is that without even knowing it, you're already an expert at this. You are an intuitive utility calculator. Your brain is basically a supercomputer constantly running these little cost-benefit analyses to guide you toward the choices that are going to give you the most overall satisfaction. And really, that's the bottom line here. Utility theory isn't just some dusty old concept for economists. It's a fundamental framework for understanding why we do the things we do. It's like the hidden architecture behind our desires, our decisions, our very human nature. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you understand this hidden logic, what's a choice you're about to make today that you might look at just a little bit differently? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.